Delegat a Cohirlig agus Bawalum Runiver Trijeg Wulu. Thank you very much, Chairman, and I'm pleased on behalf of the National Executive Committee to move motion number 13, the first on the order paper dealing with the issue of employment. Delegates, you don't need me to tell you that fear and uncertainty stalk the land. This recession is dealing a body blow to the labour force. Jobs are being lost at the rate of 1,000 per day. Long queues have formed outside social welfare offices. Community welfare officers struggle to cope with the need of an ever-expanding client base, a client base of people who studied hard, trained hard and worked hard, people who paid their taxes in a diligent and timely fashion. Yes, paid their taxes without resorting to scams or schemes like our own homegrown Masters of the Universe, whose venality, dodgy dealing, incompetence and crony capitalism have brought us to where we are today. And, you know, it struck me, guess who came out during the week or in the last few days against crony capitalism? A certain Brian Lenihan was railing against crony capitalism in the Financial Times last week. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry when I read it. Could this possibly be the same Brian Lenihan whose party has elevated cronyism to nothing short of an art form? For God's sake, Brian, you invented cronyism in Fianna Fáil. You know of no other way. It's your lifeblood. With Fianna Fáil, you're either in the tent or outside the tent. That's how it works. They are nothing else, it seems to me, other than cronyism. That's how they work. So you can try and fool the FT, Brian, but you won't fool the people of Ireland. And as Eamon said, just because the Galway tent has been given the Biffo boot, it doesn't mean that you've changed your ways. But we'll change those ways. Delegates, I ask you to support this motion and many of the other motions at this stage of the agenda, which outline positive, proactive strategies for improving access to employment supports, education and further training. It's a motion, delegates, that challenges the notion that we're helpless in the current environment. We are not helpless. The government is not helpless. The state is not helpless. It's not a question of waiting until things happen in the wider world before we take action. It's a motion that speaks to the real dynamic role that a progressive government led by the Labour Party can actually have in job creation. It speaks to the vital role for local communities in matching the skills of our communities with the work that requires to be done. And most of all, delegates, most of all, it points the way to deliver on the hopes and on the aspirations of the most highly educated generation of young people we have ever seen in our country. Delegates, I commend this motion to the